Well, joining me now to discuss the introduction of voter ID in Australia, and I'm sure corporate wokedom has meddled as many other things, is Senator for Queensland, James McGrath. Senator McGrath, thank you for joining me. I hope you've had a wonderful Easter. Tell me, you've been on the electoral ID bandwagon for many, many years. What's the status in the Commonwealth Parliament?
The status at the moment is the Joint Standing Committee on Electoral Matters handed down our report in December, which called for voter ID. It is with the government. It's up to the government that I'm a member of, to deliver on this. A policy of voter ID is the policy of the LNP here in Queensland, and I understand across the Liberal and National parties in other parts of Australia. So, you know, we delivered a similar report in 2016 calling for voter ID. Nothing happened. It's got to happen this time, because what it is, it's a head nod. Everybody I speak to is surprised they don't have to show voter ID when they go to vote, because when they go to a surf club or a bowls club, they have to show ID to get in, and they just think it's a bit bizarre. The most important duty a citizen can undertake, they don't have to show ID. So it's a no-brainer to the mob, and I hope it's a no-brainer to the Prime Minister and the Cabinet to make sure they deliver on this.
But James, what hope is there? Okay, JSCEM, that's the Joint Electoral Matters Committee, has handed down this report. Didn't they hand the same report down, or a very similar one, in 2001 and 2006 and 2013? Every election they come out and say, there are rorts going on, we've got to fix it, ID is a clear way to do it. Why haven't we done this before?
Well, I don't know why we haven't done it before, but it's got to happen. And my understanding from soundings I've taken within the government is that they are broadly supportive of this. And if they don't do it, well, I'm going to bring on a private member's bill, which you would know probably won't have much chance of a success. But I know most senators, if not all senators from the Liberal National parties, would support it, and most members in the House of Reps from the Liberal National parties would also support it. So I need my fellow backbenchers to contact the executive and say, let's get on and bring in voter ID.
All right, James, what about these claims that it disenfranchises the poor, the young, the disabled? That's what the Greens say. Or that somehow it's a right-wing plot to shut down or voter suppression, which is what they're also saying in America. How do you respond to those accusations from your opponents?
That's complete rubbish. What we've said is any form of ID, and most people, if they don't have a driver's licence, they'll have an 18+ card, or they'll have a seniors card. We've even said you could use your Medicare card. And in fact, if you don't, for some bizarre reason, don't have any ID on you, well, you can be issued with a declaration vote until your ID is proven. We've made it so easy. But what is so interesting is we've made it so easy to bring in voter ID in terms of recommendations, but Labor and the Greens are screeching so loudly. And that makes me know why. Because they don't want to bring in voter ID because it's part of their business model. They want people to vote early and vote often. They actually effectively want electoral fraud by not wanting us to bring in reforms that stop electoral fraud.
Well, I remember, James, you had, I think, Curaçao see Cat on the electoral roll in Queensland at some point. We've got electorates now, or elections that have been decided by a handful or a dozen votes. So if an orchestrated group wants to go out there and vote 2 or 3 times, they can actually swing electoral results, can't they?
Oh, totally. And we know there are forces in Australia who are not supportive of mainstream Australia, who want to see good Conservatives lose their seat. And we know that these people will do anything possible to try and make sure these people lose these seats. And if that includes electoral fraud, they'll get up to electoral fraud. And remember, mobile phones, everybody. Everywhere we go in Queensland at the moment, we've got to tap in and tap out. I mean, if it's good enough to order, a skinny cappuccino, it's good enough to go and vote.
That's a very, very good point. And of course, the same people who are saying we've got to lock ourselves down for COVID and track everybody and monitor everything are the ones who are actually rejecting voter ID. James, what do you make about what's been going on in America? We've had these big corporate wokesters who are lecturing others, just like the Greens and the Labor Party, but they're riddled with hypocrisy because they require ID to access a lot of their services, but they're saying it's somehow bad for voters to ensure electoral integrity. Would we see that here in Australia?
Oh, we certainly would see that woke hypocrisy here in Australia, and you see with how our corporates operate. You see with how the ABC operates in terms of how they are so far left wing. But what is, I don't want to say interesting, but what is worrying about what happened in Georgia is that all these corporates have come out with this boycott Georgia, and guess who's going to be hurt by that? The poor people in Georgia, those people trying to get jobs, or those people who have basic jobs, they're the ones who are going to be hurt by this corporate boycott organised by comfortable middle-class people driving around in Volvos. So we're going to see the same thing happen here in Australia as the corporate affairs departments and the boards are filled up with nice middle-class people who like to have nice conversations about things but don't understand how the real world operates and are actually hypocrites when it comes to just everything, whether it's coal in Queensland or whether it is voter ID.
Yeah, they'll scream injustice here in Australia where we protect people's rights and we have the rule of law, while they'll do all the business they can with the totalitarian regime in China, where the Uyghurs are being persecuted and human rights are being trampled and organs are being harvested. It strikes me that these corporate wokesters really don't have a leg to stand on, do they?
They don't have a leg to stand on. And some of these university vice-chancellors, I mean, never stand between a university vice-chancellor and a bucket of money, and never stand between a university vice-chancellor and a free trip to China, because that's what they've all been doing. They've been going over there, sucking up to China, to quote one of your fellow people on Sky, a conga line of them have gone over there, and they are now coming home with the fruit in terms of reduced numbers coming to their universities. China is a threat to Australia, and as soon as people realise this, they're a threat to our economy, they're a threat to our way of life, and these, whether they're woke companies or woke universities or woke politicians, because you don't hear the Greens attacking China too much, do you? A lot of silence there from the Greens when it comes to China. And what's happened to Senator Carr from Victoria? He's very quiet when it comes to China, isn't he? So, you know, we've got to wake up, Australia, to what is going on.
James, hypocrisy is not unknown in politics as well as the corporate world. I really appreciate your time tonight. Thank you. I hope you've had a great weekend, and keep us up to date on what's happening with this electoral integrity bill, because I think that's going to be very important to the next election. Thanks for your time tonight.
Anytime. Thank you.